Well, I was going to say, why is it, right?
That Dan makes really gross noises down the microphone.
Yeah, why is that? Why is it that if you told me to eat a loaf of bread, just a loaf of bread,
yep,
I'd struggle by like the third slice.
Right.
I'd be like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. But with pizza, which is effectively just bread with a bit of stuff on it, I could eat a whole large. Like I could finish that pizza right now. If I really
I guess is it just the fact that it's not plain? Because like obviously like
Maybe.
plain bread dries you out as well.
So having that extra moisture, the cheese.
Yeah, the sauce and the cheese and there's probably some chemicals that go into mass produced pizza that like give you an endorphin rush.
You just want to keep eating it.
I reckon it's probably the same as McDonald's. Like I genuinely reckon there's some kind of chemical, whether it's like MSG or something like that, that's in fast food that gives you like a mental. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Like a mental switch.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. McDonald's breakfast is incredible to me.
Right.
Like there will never be a time that if somebody said, "Oh, do you want a McDonald's breakfast?" I wouldn't be like, "Hell yeah." And I don't know why, because in theory, it's crap. And in theory, I could have exactly the same thing at home with a sausage and egg sandwich.
Yep.
Or whatever.
It never tastes as good, or it doesn't quite
it's just,
fill that hole.
And that's it. And there's just something about all the saturated fat and all the MSG and all that. And it's like, I swear to God, with these big chains especially, which are always the ones that you crave, because you don't, it's not very often you crave
the independent store.
Yeah, you don't go, oh, I'm really craving pizza Zammy.
Yeah.
Or I'm really craving a Royal Bengal Inn.
Right.
You don't have that, do you? But KFC, McDonald's,
Subway,
Domino's, all of those kind of places, they have something that you go, oh, I really fancy a.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Welcome to another episode of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
The show we were too lazy to pitch to TV.
The podcast game show where two friends argue about the third's most burning and sometimes pointless questions in order to get a much-needed point in our season-long contest.
In some rounds, the two answerers don't always get to choose which side of an argument they're fighting for, which leads to some quick thinking and often has them mainly persuading themselves, but more importantly, the questioner to believe in what they're saying.
In other rounds, the answerers get a more open question where they can be far more creative with their choices, but they only get a short amount of time, and whatever they say first, they must stick with, no takebacks.
Our special round for Season 1 is Round 3 Fight, where the questioner will pick a universe from which the answerers must pick a character within it, and they must convince the questioner that their character will win in a one-on-one fight to the death.
That's the game.
Well done, Dan.
So, welcome to...
Probably something to do with Elon Musk.
So, welcome to episode 11.
Sorry, no, Kirk, I'm going to interrupt you there.
Okay.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk is... Why is no one else talking about this? Elon Musk is a James Bond villain in real life.
So, because he's building tunnels.
He's a billionaire who's digging under Los Angeles, famous for having a fault line.
Yep.
He's got rockets, and he sold flamethrowers to the public.
He's actually Dr. Evil.
Elon Musk is a supervillain, I'm telling you. And you know how you have it a lot of the times where, I'm sure even on James Bond they've had it where like the evil villain is like, often people are like, oh, he's a philanthropist and
charismatic, like in Kingsman. Samuel Jackson. You can have this free SIM card.
Yeah.
Unlimited everything.
You can have electric cars that save the planet. You can have free trips to Mars. You can have, a train that takes you underground and can take you around the world in less than 30 minutes. All sounds great, but what's the evil plan?
Do you know what? I'm actually terrified right now.
Yeah.
Well, we went from talking about bread, talking about world domination from a real-life Bond villain.
Well, this is our penultimate episode, Kurt.
It is. It's episode 11 of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild. Yeah.
Dan's finally found his voice.
I have had nothing to say.
Didn't agree with the Elon Musk.
I'm not saying I disagree. Just didn't have anything to say.
Okay.
Oh.
So, episode 11 of Would a Panther Kill?
What are the scores, James?
A raccoon in the wild. Sorry. You didn't let me finish there, Kurt. Come on.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Penultimate episode of season 1. still all to play for.
Yep.
So we have Kirk is at the bottom of the table currently.
Yep.
With 9 points.
Yeah.
Everyone's favourite host, Thick Jim, is at 10 points. And Salty D has thrown his teddies out of the pram enough to crawl to the top and be 11 points.
I get a lot of rap for being Salty D, but I think under the surface, James is pretty salty as well.
I concur. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kirk's the least salty.
Yeah, no, it's hard to be salty when you're consistently last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree. I'd say I should be the most salty, saying why the fuck didn't I get that point or whatever. But
yeah, but there's a point where you just have too
but
much
Kirk
salt.
realizes that his argument's terrible.
sometimes, hey, I've won enough to stay in contention,
And that's it. Right, Kirk. Well,
it's not me. It's all
bit of background. We apologise in advance if you hear any fireworks.
Yeah.
In the studio, it's
that time of the month.
Yeah, it's rapidly approaching bonfire night, and it's also around the time of Diwali as well.
Yep. Which for a few listeners, bonfire night's tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, you'll be hearing this. Remember the 4th of November.
Yeah.
The day before anything interesting happened. So
November the 4th be with you. No.
yeah. So all of the non-British listeners are going to be really confused what we're talking about, but
yeah.
It's cool.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Kirk, can I please have the coin?
Oh yeah. I thought you asked me for the first question. I was like,
No.
that's not me. Here it is.
Caught the coin.
Touchdown.
Right.
This is the longest standing coin now.
Yes.
It is. It's the same one.
Officially been in the most episodes.
Yeah. A good 5 episodes now.
Previously held by a 10p.
Yep. That only made it through 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3.
No, it might have been 3.
I don't know how many this has been in it.
I think five or 6 now.
5, yeah.
This might be its 6th.
Shows how much I'm paying attention.
Shows you how often you fondle the coin. So
Same amount as everyone.
I want to almost do a bit of a throwback to one of my personal and what seems to be an audience favourite discussion point.
Which one's this?
I want to take us back to Heck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was good fun.
I want to take us back to Heck, and I'm going to give you boys a Heck situation, and I want you to tell me why you'd rather have your chosen Heck over the other person's Heck.
Okay.
Which eternal torture would be the least torturous, shall we say?
Nice.
Out of the ones that the other person gave.
Out of the 2 that I have.
Oh, okay.
I've only got 2, but the coin toss will decide which Heck you get.
Uh-huh.
And you want to tell me why I'd rather end up in your Heck than Dan's.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, I'm not gonna tell you what they are until after the coin toss. But Kirk, as you're on the least points,
Yeah.
Option A or option B?
Option B.
Option B will be the arcade machine for you.
Okay.
Okay. And that's option B for Kirk.
Okay.
So,
Yes. That's what I wanted, apparently.
Option A, Dan. Whenever you drive, you hit every single red light.
So my morning commute then, yeah?
All the time.
Yeah.
You will always, and it will always have just turned red. Okay?
So my morning commute then, yeah?
Kirk,
Yes, James.
you will have all of the benefits of today's technology at dial-up internet speed.
Oh, God.
No 5G for you, my friend.
No.
You might have a 12K modem in your pocket,
Ooh.
or are you just happy to see me? And yeah, I will let you say, thanks to the joys of modern technology, the one thing that has improved is you don't have to listen to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's
But remember so take our younger viewers down a trip down memory lane. I need a jingle here, Kurt. James's memory lane.
sure.
James's memory lane.
Let's fucking do this!
For those of you that are maybe a bit too young, possibly Dan here, a bit too young to remember dial-up internet, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
Really?
He is.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, fuck me up the wall. Right, so dial-up internet. Remember, you'd load up a web page and it would load line by line,
Yep.
like row of pixel by row of pixel. So, and obviously it would load slower if there was photos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but whenever you saw dial-up boobs, where you would like
The head.
the head starts,
You were desperate. You see
and then-
shoulders and you go,
and then-
come on.
and then the web page would freeze.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
Sorry.
Well, your mum would walk in close.
Yeah. Well, no. Do you know what was even worse than that, Dan? Was
We're just reverse.
no. Was if you were on the internet, maybe you were playing some hardcore RuneScape, or maybe you were
Oh, yeah.
chatting up some ladies on Muscle,
MSN.
and then all of a sudden the phone rings.
Yeah.
That's your internet connection gone.
Sick.
Or even worse, you hear your mom pick up the phone and start dialing.
Yep.
And the amount of kids that would have been our age that had to scream, like, "Mom, get off the phone, I'm on the internet!"
It's awful.
Or the other side, which is a shrill mom voice going, "Get off the computer, I need to make a phone call."
That was more likely. Yep. Yep.
James's memory lane. Let's fucking do this! So, in to give you a bit of background into your heck, Kirk, as I say, you can still use your phone and your laptop and stuff. And I would say you still have bandwidth in the sense that you don't need, it's not like if Stan, the ruler of heck, wants, just to remind everyone, wants to make a phone call to his big brother, then you lose your internet connection.
Okay.
It's just that you deal
I have
with
Wi-Fi. It's
the
just
speed,
it's the
rubbish,
speed
the
of
speeds.
dial-up.
Yes.
and the process of dial-up in terms
Yes.
of the loading. Okay.
Yes.
You
Right.
just have to plan ahead.
That's yeah.
Well, both of these require significant planning ahead,
Yes.
right?
You need
So
to leave
you have
a
to
lot
be
earlier.
prepared that if your sat nav says 15 minutes, it's going to take 45.
Yeah. Is there,
You
is there a rule against jumping the lights?
I would like to think, because it's massively inconvenient, heck is quite hot
They've
on
got cameras everywhere.
driving law. Yeah, red light cameras at every junction.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you'll probably find that there's dozens and dozens of pedestrians waiting to cross that will just walk out the minute. That's probably how they ended up there, to be honest. They just walk out the minute. They didn't look left, they didn't look right, they didn't follow the green cross code.
They were just staring at the light.
Yeah,
As soon as it goes green.
you know,
In
like
fact,
when you
every
see, like,
pedestrian is someone who has just died, and that's them transitioning. And their next step is
yeah, like
in
there's
front
only
of you.
one road in Heck, and it's literally it's crossed by a massive zebra crossing that allows
No,
people-
everyone's out for a walk in heck because they've got no internet.
and they can't drive because they won't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm the only one driving, sat in the car at a red light.
Do you know what? It's like the most annoying thing in the world, isn't it? When you're driving, and especially when you're in a rush, and somebody pushes the Pelican Crossing lights.
Yeah.
Pelican Crossing,
Yeah.
and then they cross as you'll start approaching. So like they can see, oh, they've got a gap. Like, oh, I'll cross. Fine, you do that.
They'll make it. And then
They've already pressed.
And
yeah.
then as you're about to get there, the fucking light changes.
and they're already halfway up the road.
Yeah, you just like,
They've come out of the shop with their
you.
I'll admit, I was that kid that whenever even if I wasn't crossing, if I walked past one, I pressed the button anyway.
Fuck you. Do you know what's even worse, right? Obviously, we've already doxed ourselves and told everyone we're from Coventry. Down round by my dad's house in Coventry, they've built one of these. What do they call them? Dutch style cycleways,
Yes.
segregated cycle
Yeah.
lane with like a curb and everything.
Mhm.
Because it's a fucking shit show, as is most of Coventry City Council's projects.
Yep.
It goes down a main road, but whenever there's a roundabout or a junction, you have to go into a side road, cross against the flow of traffic on a zebra crossing, and then back out. Right? Just like, yeah, whatever. Right. So you're leaving a roundabout, and there's a zebra crossing where a bike can shoot out in front of you at any time.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, safe. But there's one point where it crosses over because there's a railway, and it bypasses it so it can go under the railway bridge. It crosses diagonally over the road with cyclist-controlled traffic lights.
Oh, I've seen these.
So the cyclist rides up to the traffic lights. It automatically detects a bike, changes the road to red so they can cross. cyclists always get priority.
Yeah.
But do you know the amount of time that teenagers ride up to the fucking thing and then cross and then literally turn back around and do it again? So only one car will get through. And you just...
As evil as it is, that sounds hilarious.
It's just fucking annoying.
I'll just, if I'm in heck here, I won't drive down that way. I won't risk it.
So, okay then, boys. So Dan, why is your heck better than Kirk's heck?
Well,
why do you want me to join you in your heck?
Why don't I? Or do I?
Why is your heck the heck that I want to end up in?
Well, in heck, I think we haven't fully established heck law yet.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing there? What's our purpose? Like what?
Well, we
just kind of is it existing as our normal lives?
Yeah, I think
we still go to work and
I think it's existing as our normal lives with a bit more discomfort.
Yeah.
And it's like
for eternity.
In my mind.
So we still need to eat, we still need to
yeah, I mean,
need our basic needs.
In my mind, I kind of get this image of heck in my head as like, and maybe this just shows you how brainwashed I am. Like quaint little middle American town, like something out of Stranger Things, for example.
Picket fences.
Yeah, white picket fences and all that, but also lakes of burning lava and trees on fire. But just to make it a bit hecky.
This comes back to like, where am I going?
Well, you've probably got work.
So I do go to work.
Well, you'll have to go to work, and it'll be it wouldn't be a torturous job. It's not like, oh, you've got to push this rock up the hill.
You just work at Amazon.
But yeah, it's like
picking and packing.
It's like that, or it's like you work shredding documents all day.
Am I the postman that doesn't bring your package?
Yeah,
it's just like in traffic lights.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So I don't bother going to any houses. I just go straight to the depot.
Get stuck.
Yeah.
So it's those kind of like, and not to slag anyone off who works at Amazon or anything.
Oh no,
it's not your fault. But yeah, but it's like I just imagine it as like when you see, almost like to bring up another really ridiculously common subject, and I think I've got it right. Incredibles. When Mr. Incredible's like working his normal job, or he's got like the bullpen cubicle, and it's like it's just going to be like that, and it's like you just spend your
drivel,
and it's like
punching numbers,
almost like when you have one of those companies and you go, "What do we do?" and they go, "Business."
Filing papers.
We trade and we swap and we business and profits.
Stonks.
And you probably work at like Heck Inc.
Heck Inc.
So I work for that chicken company.
Heck Inc.
Okay then.
And do you know what actually? And I think I might be ripping off a cartoon or a TV show. I'm sure I am now, and I'm going to hate it. But your job is probably processing new people.
Yeah, I'm like the DMV of heck.
Yeah, it's like you sit in there. I'm sure this is a TV show. I've got to find it now. But you sit in there and you're just like tick 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 tick, and then somebody. What's the TV show? Come on.
Is it Beetlejuice you're thinking of?
No.
There's that person doing the.
There's a car. Do you know what I think it might be? Do you know the webcomic Cyanide and Happiness?
No.
I think they did a web series on it, and it's like this guy who's really depressed at his job, working in a cubicle, and basically what happens is, I think it's called Purgatony, and it's like this guy Tony who works in purgatory, and this is what I imagine it's like for you. It's like, and you're just working away, and then all of a sudden it'll be like ding, and somebody will drop into a chair, and you'll have to review their file, and go hell, heck, or heaven. You're like, yeah. Yeah, and you've got to process these applicants for hell or heaven.
That's what you do.
Or heck. So I took over the guy that let me in.
He got promoted.
Oh.
He's now your annoying manager.
Nice.
The one who sticks his head around the cubicle and goes, "Hey guys, being productive today." Hey, don't forget about the company picnic next Tuesday.
We're about to hit record numbers.
I'm so very sorry, Cyanide and Happiness, for ripping off your brilliant idea, but you have summarized what heck is.
Yeah, so I have purpose. I suppose I could take your answer from last time and just walk everywhere or cycle everywhere.
Yeah, but there's a lot of foot traffic. We've already established this.
Yeah, cyclists don't care.
You're going to be like that bloke on TikTok who just screams "cycle lane" as he rides
Bike
through.
lane.
You're right. Have you seen that guy?
You're in the bike
Singing
lane.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Bike lane.
Can you please move?
Can you please move?
Yeah, I mean, you could walk everywhere, but I think, like I say, I think the streets are very congested as well. I think the cycle lanes are poor and pothole ridden, and I would say the other traffic isn't very considerate of cyclists.
So either way, it's going to be a terrible journey.
Yeah, it's going to be a poor commute.
Oh, I'll drive it then.
And even if you cycled, just
And
like
your
James was describing, those little lights for the cycle lanes wouldn't get priority anymore.
And your manager, Biff, he's the kind of manager that stands there at 8 o'clock when you need to be there with the watch waiting at the punch card machine.
Yeah. I think I'd argue with my manager a lot. Like, you're late again. I was like, you know what the damn traffic's like. You know what I got cussed with. He's there wiping crumbs off him. You know what my curse is.
He's like, would you mind if I let you go 5 minutes early, would you pick up my parcel from the depot? He's just got a greasy residue on all of his keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, Kirk. So you've heard about Dan's experience. Why is your heck the better heck?
Well,
It's not.
we're there for eternity.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's only a finite amount of things to watch and listen to and do.
Yeah.
So I'd want to savor those moments. And I would head out to work doing my mundane job. And before I leave, I'll click download. Whatever it is. Go away for 6 hours, come back, and hopefully half the episode is ready. And I've saved, and I'm going to enjoy it. Just like we did as kids when we downloaded stuff from LimeWire, which took 2 days to download Fallout Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, ripped from some American radio station.
Realised
Just to
you've
enjoy
downloaded
it.
the wrong one.
Yeah.
I realised it was a
just to-
virus.
Just to enjoy it, right? Well, but when it was right, we enjoyed the heck out of
Yeah,
it.
Napster.
Yeah, our MP3s were well used.
Were the MP3s? Were they not WMAs?
Pumped full of AIDS.
Sometimes MP3. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes MP3. Yeah.
MP2.
That's what I do. I would savor every moment.
Sorry, like another complete sidetrack. Sorry, guys. Do you guys ever remember hit clips?
No.
You don't remember hit clips?
No.
Hit clips were a thing, and I think at one point they gave them away in McDonald's toys as well.
Hit clip.
And it was like it was like at the start of the MP3 world.
Were they the ones that you press the button on top?
It's like mini
The
disc,
McDonald's
right?
ones.
They were, yeah, but they were like little, basically players that hold like a minute of a song.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So
There was a Crazy
yeah.
Frog one, and
there was, and
I
like,
liked them
and
more.
you could buy, and the McDonald's ones were just free ones, and they were literally like a button that you press
Yeah.
with headphones,
Yeah.
and it'll be like, and then it'll give you like a really condensed version of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" or something. But then they actually did like when MP3 players were kind of like just a thing, you know, back in the days where you got your 128K USB stick with a screen. They did hit clips where you had to buy like cartridges to swap the songs.
Oh, God.
So like you're like, oh, I want to
Sounds
listen.
like mini disc.
They weren't like mini. They were like plug-in things,
Oh, right.
and
They
it
were
was like
Nintendo 64 cartridges.
yeah, but like almost like Switch cartridges today.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And they were like,
Little SD cards.
yeah, and you like put them in, and then you'll get like an ultra compressed file that's like you know it sounds like someone singing like this of like a shortened hit clip exclusive version of a song. So like Year 3000 by Busted, but it skips 2 verses.
Oh, shit.
You'll get the first verse and you'll get the chorus twice, and
the
then that'll be it.
Wow.
Sorry. So you just made me sorry, I'm getting nostalgia for dial-up internet.
Yeah, I'd savor everything.
So you want to have a wank?
Yeah.
You got to plan 3 days in advance.
Yeah. We got to save it up, man.
Especially like that's a waste as well, man. Imagine if you wanted to have a wank, right?
Good old fashioned magazine.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, because imagine if you got one of those like videos on Pornhub that's just too much story.
I think I think
trying to skip
You
through.
spent 3 days downloading for someone to go, oh, excuse me, plumber, can you come and fix my pipes?
And then he says,
he actually
all right, yeah.
And he's
He
like,
actually fixes it first.
he's like, just let me get my wrench. Oh shit, it's a 10 mil. I've only got a 12.
I think I'd end up just having a million tabs open
Yeah.
of the same stuff.
Wouldn't that make it slower?
It would, but at least I'd have something to go back to.
Is it like one of those things?
Once a year, you just have this bank of things to watch.
I have 365 tabs open.
Is it like one of those things where if you tried to play an online game, you'd push one key, move one tile, and then you'd have to wait another day? Like, you'd be like, right, back tomorrow.
Games are a thing of the past in my heck, yeah.
Offline games are fine.
Yeah, offline games are fun because so just don't live online.
Yeah.
Who's there to talk to anyone on heck?
Well, plenty of people, Dan.
Yeah,
You
he's stuck
could-
in traffic.
You could walk next to me while I'm in traffic.
Yeah. I could ask you for directions because my Google Maps won't work.
Yeah. What about? I mean, does yours apply to your menial job as well? Like,
Well, I think
do you have slower? Like, if Dan's in the next cubicle, he's like flying through clients.
And you sat there with
And,
one.
like, Biff's there. Like, the only reason why he's not fired is because his output's 100 times faster than yours. And like a person in the chairs, like loading line by line, like their spirit. And you're like, Jeffrey Dahmer. John Wayne Gacy. Jack the Ripper. He's like, that was an old lady who did nothing but feed cats.
Little late now.
I think I would probably be given a job that didn't require internet connection.
So you'd be a cleaner.
Possibly, yeah.
You'd be a cleaner and you'd have like to mop a floor that constantly gets dirty at the other end.
And the last one always leaves a residue.
Yeah, so like you mop, and then just as you mop, a horde of people walk in with muddy shoes.
Yeah.
All the people that have been waiting at the zebra crossing.
Yeah, and then it goes quiet again. You mop it all up. Ding.
And it takes you exactly between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. to do. So as Dan's shift finishes, they all come out and ruin the floor again.
That's okay. Well, as I'm cleaning up, I'm thinking of the previous episode of what I watched the day before. I'm thinking, oh my god, what could this
What could possibly happen today?
happens here? Yeah.
I'm on episode 2 of The Office.
But still, I get access to everything else. And once I have downloaded something, I have that to keep.
Yeah.
So I could watch a film or
I mean, there's got to be a
show again.
Blockbuster in Heck, right? Heck seems like the kind of place Blockbuster would end up.
But as it's heck, Blockbuster would exist, but there's no VHS players. You've got all the cassettes in the world, but nothing to play it on.
No, I would give you like an old camcorder that you have to plug in, like the coax. Or maybe one of those an adapted version of like a Viewmaster.
Oh yeah,
But with a fucking great big tape sticking out the front, and you've got to have it strapped to your face.
That's VR, man.
Yeah, piss off, Siri.
the original VR.
Yeah, so I would enjoy life, and I'd enjoy stuff that I've already downloaded, and I'd savor that more because I know this took a lot of time.
So what would you
Dan's
do?
going to go through red lights and have to spend ages and leave the house an hour
I'll
earlier.
just keep turning up late. What's he going to do?
Accept it.
Kirk's there cleaning his floor, hearing Biff shouting at Dan again,
Like,
sending him to HR.
I'm shouting
again.
back.
Getting jealous that Dan just like whips out his phone and looks up something and goes, "Look at this! This is what happened to me today." I can't do that.
Yeah, I could come up to you and be like, "Look at this video." Oh wait, no, I'm going to watch it. Oh no, I go to show you and it just buffers, and then I turn it around, it plays.
Every time he looks,
Every time he looks,
it reloads the page.
I was like, do you know what? I'll send it to you. You can watch it in 10 years.
I'll watch it in a week. Yeah.
Like you just get a WhatsApp message about 6 fucking days later where he's like, ha, lol.
Yeah. You'd be so behind
Which is
on the
the
memes. You'd be so behind.
Has
on
anyone
memes.
heard of planking?
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Anything else to add? Any counters?
He's only got red lights. Like,
Yeah.
Well, no, he's got inconvenient at any kind of transport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you can't bypass it by not taking the train's always going to be late and overcrowded. The bus is always going to be late, overcrowded, and you've got to sit next to that one fat guy who's taking up both the plug sockets.
I think it'd get to a point where I'd figure out the least traffic lighty route and then just deal with it. Fair enough. I'd happily turn up late because, like, in heck, what's he going to do? Fire me?
I can go on holiday whenever I want without any problem, but it's going to take me a week to book it. I would need to book holiday to book the holiday.
Well,
but then I'd do the same. I'd have to book it and then start heading there a week in advance.
He wouldn't be checking in 2 hours early at the airport. He'd be checking in 8 hours early.
So you'd book it. We'd book it at the same time. No, we'd start booking at the same time.
Yeah,
and then a week later, you'd have booked it, but I'll be there because I'll have had to leave.
I kind of like our character be a bit like hear no evil, see no evil, and we depend on each other. He has the internet.
I'll see you there.
I've got the travel capabilities.
Yeah, so I'll book both.
Yeah. And
then I'll just leave a week earlier. We'll get there at the same time. That's completely off topic. Speaking of the same time, so it's really irritating that me and Lauren arrive home at roughly the same time, yet I leave work half an hour before she does.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you have further to travel.
Yeah, and I don't know, it just irritates me.
Well, there's a fuckload of red lights.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's the M6.
But you know what's great? Like, so Celeste leaves the house for work about 7 o'clock. I then roll out of bed and walk downstairs for 25 past 7 and turn my laptop on. My commute is downstairs.
The fact that Lauren could go to and from work twice before I even get to work.
Yeah. It won't be for long, though.
No. I'll shave 10 minutes off.
I can just imagine a really funny short comedy where you're on the phone to your boss and he goes, "Be there for work yet?" "Oh yeah, I'm leaving now. I swear, I'm on the way. I swear. And it's just this really long video of you walking down the stairs.
Holy guacamole! I'm going to be late. Like getting the suit, getting the shirt on, running out the door, and then literally turning back around and locking the door. Maybe that's my heck. Maybe my heck is I'm always late for working at the home office.
Yeah. And you keep forgetting that you work there.
You go and get in your car.
Oh, did I ever tell you? Sorry. I'm going to give it to Kirk because the nostalgia really hit me and he did make me laugh a shitload. So I'm going to give it to Kirk.
You'd rather have the bandwidth.
I hate them both. But I do really fucking hate sitting in red lights. And I lived with dial-up internet for a long time.
But would you go back to it?
No, I wouldn't. But but they're both awful. They're both terrible. But so,
I live one already. But
I'm gonna give the point to Kirk.
Yay!
So that's you on 10, me on 10, Dan on 11.
Guys, I'm back.
So anyway, the story that I was going to tell you before we completely diverted back to the actual show. Did I ever tell you about the time that I got asked? It was at my previous job, and I got asked to do a load of overtime. I was literally so overworked. I don't know if you remember, Kirk, because I think we were all together a lot of the time, and I'm just like, I'm working extra overtime every day.
Oh, yeah. And
one time, I got asked to come in on the Saturday at 6 a.m.
Oh, dang.
6 a.m. was when I had to be there. On the Friday night, I fell asleep about 7 p.m. because I was just that done with all the work I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, I wake up and I check my phone and it says 11. And I am like, shit, I am so fucking late for work. I'm supposed to have been there 5 fucking hours ago.
Yeah.
My fucking God. So I literally slapped like uniform on, fucking pulled my trousers on, safety boots on, trying to ring my boss and he's not picking up. And I'm like, shit, he's going to fucking kill me. And I literally sprinted out the door, car keys in hand. And it was pitch black outside.
It's 11 p.m. at night.
And it was 11 p.m. And I was like, and I looked, and my phone didn't even say 11, it said 23.
Oh, you just,
But I still did the maths in my head. It went, it's 11 o'clock, I'm late.
that's
And then my
awful.
boss said to me the next day when I came in, he was like, why did you call me at 11 o'clock last night? And I was like, you wouldn't believe it if I fucking told you.
Isn't it mad, though, that if we just all got up at 6 a.m., we'd have done 5 hours worth of shit before midday.
6 hours?
Well, yeah, 6 hours worth of shit before midday.
Yeah.
Like, how mad is that? Why don't we do that?
Because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Bed.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Do you know what? I'm getting up at 6 tomorrow, boys.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not.
definitely
Doing some
not.
Stuff. Yeah.
I've got a day off. I'm sleeping until midday.
That's exactly what I'm getting up early. Got a day off, so I'm just going to...
I'm sleeping into
do stuff
midday,
with
then
it.
I'm going to tidy up the house, I think.
I'm going to the gym after this, so I will.
After this?
Yeah.
You're a madman.
Mad.
Right. Okay.
We've
Come on. Question 2.
Just so the listeners realise, we've done 2 episodes today,
Oh,
and we've had a huge pizza each,
yeah.
and he's going to go to the gym.
Currently 9:30.
Dang.
It's 9:26, actually, Dan. Don't.
I'm still waiting for the internet to load to tell me the time. It's all based
I'm
on
going to the
internet
gym now so I can get
That's
there by
the thing,
tomorrow.
right? With my one, before we carry on, the time is internet based these days.
Yeah.
So I would need, like, the clock would just be loading one little bit at a time. Going, that could be a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's an 8. Oh.
Well, I mean, you could probably work on analog clocks.
yeah. I
You
guess
could
so.
probably work on analog. Like, you'll be the only guy who has a swatch.
Yeah, you can get a little digital.
Kirk the cleaner with a Rolex because he can't buy a mobile phone.
Yeah.
What's the point? Okay, so anyway, back to the actual show.
Back to the game.
Kirk's on 10. I'm on 10. Dan's on 11. Come on, Kirk. This question, fingers crossed, I can tie myself back up with Dan.
May well be. You may well do. You may well do. Okay, so here's a good one. Here's a good one. So, what inanimate object in the world, anything at all, do you wish you could eliminate from existence, and why?
Say that again.
So, any inanimate object in the world,
Yeah.
you could eliminate from existence right now.
Yeah.
What would it be and why?
Oh. That's a deep philosophical thought.
We haven't had one for a while.
No.
Women.
I can only accept your first answer, Dan.
That is a tough one. There's so many that I want to say, but I don't want to say them. Inanimate object.
Yep. And why? That's an important part. There's got to be something you just feel is absolutely pointless in this world.
So,
or unnecessary.
When we pick our one, basically what's going to happen, so we say, I want this to no longer exist. It just pops out of
Yeah,
existence.
just convince me why yours would be the one that I agree with.
There's so much shit that I agree.
It's not like a scenario, it's just a
There's
hypothetical.
there's
It's not
so
like,
much shit that
I want, this is an example, I want tables to not exist. They don't all just, we're not just going through a scenario where they will pop out of existence. What would be the repercussions of that?
No,
We're
no.
going, why? Okay.
No.
There's so much shit that I say all the time that's fucking pointless. Now I'm like, what am I thinking of?
Right now, exactly why I'm asking this question, because we all say it all the time. We're driving along somewhere, what the fuck does that exist? And then...
Can it be a food? Or drink?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Anything that doesn't move or live by itself. This is the most stumped listeners I've ever seen, these two.
Just don't want to pick something and then think of another one later and be like, that's amazing.
Can I choose what I replace it with?
What?
It can be part of your argument, but no, it's in...
Or what you'd use instead of.
Yes. So, let's go back to the tables.
That could be a good argument. So it could be redundant because we have this. Yeah, sure.
Keys.
Keys, all right.
Keys.
Nice.
I don't know whether to just start, because there's some people that might listen to this that would completely disagree with me, and this is my chance to call them out on it.
Go on then.
You're going to say American footballs?
No. Wine.
Wine.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. I like this.
Sean's going to be offended. I like it.
Sean,
I love wine.
I like
Sean,
a nice glass of wine.
Sean, if you're listening, yes, this is directed at you and Greaves. I hate you both.
So what are your reasons, guys? What is it? That the reason? I hate you both. I'm doing this to spite you.
Pretty much.
Dan only agreed to do this podcast because he was planning this very moment.
How he can get back at someone.
No, so here's the thing. Wine, right?
Yeah.
It's only recent. Like, I've never liked wine. The smell of it makes me gag.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it. But I wouldn't be like, oh, no one should drink it until like the past year or so, where people talking about wine has become so common around me that I just hate it. And if you didn't know this already, I've not kept it a secret. I always manage to get my little, I hate wine. I hate you because you like wine. I think wine tasting is pretentious.
Oof, I feel like we're getting controversial here.
Yeah.
Grape juice.
Like, I don't know, like, see, I'm on the exact opposite of this. Like, this is where we're going to get into some fierce debate, because one of the people that you've called out on this is the person that got me into drinking wine.
Yes.
And I mean,
And the other person is answering this question.
yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm one of these people that I can go with, like, you know, oh, it's full bodied and it's, yeah, I can't fucking, like, I do,
a load of rubbish.
I do believe to a degree that, like, wine experts in inverted commas are all just bullshitters.
Okay.
Like,
100%.
but I also understand that wines do taste different, and there are ones that I prefer and ones that I don't prefer.
Yeah.
And
it's
therefore,
like beers with their different hops.
yeah, and that's it. So from my perspective, wine is okay to be like, I will pick up a bottle of wine, and Sean's even given me that little app that lets me pick the wine that I like, because, like, I know that I like certain wine, and I'm not going to waste my money on a bottle of wine that I don't like. But there are some that I genuinely find as an enjoyable drink.
Uh-huh.
And it makes me feel like a big classy boy.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
Is you could have anything, name any food item, any drink that's got slight variance.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's a different taste, but why is it wine that makes you an absolute knobhead?
I like this. So what Dan is actually saying is he's not getting rid of wine.
If I went around,
He's getting rid of wine culture.
Yeah,
he's getting rid of wine culture.
If I went around, like, tasting like Wotsits from different brands, like,
there are people that do it though.
Yeah, but
like, there's that guy on.
They're not as bad. Like, wine drinkers are like, I'm fully coming. Like, I don't even care. You can call me. You can bring it up whenever. But, like, you're not better than anyone. Like,
there's that guy who makes a really big deal out of coffee on TikTok and stuff. What's his name? James Hoffman or something like that.
Oh, they're just as bad.
And he's like, and he sits there the whole time, and he, like, brews different coffees and different, and he's like, oh no, the bloom's not right. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, I'm fussy with coffee. Like, coffee is one of those things that I'm
another thing I don't actually like.
To a lesser extent.
I'm not a coffee guy.
I'm to a lesser extent with coffee the way some people are with wine, in that I'm very particular about like, I fucking hate instant coffee. If I'm drinking coffee, I'm going through the effort of making what I call a proper coffee, even if it's like the least effort way I make a coffee is through a cafetiere.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when Celeste came in earlier and made me that iced coffee, I made that coffee this morning, knowing that I would want an iced coffee at night.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, that's where, so, you know, but I do understand that it's not just wine, it's everything.
Yeah.
Like, like, people are like it with steak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody's like, oh, look at the way the fat's been marbled on it. And it's like,
you're allowed to like something in a particular way.
Yeah.
I'm fully for that.
I guess you can say the same thing about cider, right? Certain ciders are made with certain different things.
As well.
And
literally every.
But you don't see me sat there with my Copperberg swilling it. And
I was going to say, like, but there is no culture behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
It's different. I mean,
and I don't
that's a good
turn
argument.
when other people like say if it's like ice cream, for example, and someone's like, oh, my favorite ice cream is pistachio. I hate pistachio ice cream. It's disgusting. But if someone orders it, I don't turn my nose up at them for liking it.
Right.
Like, I don't think, oh, my ice cream is better than yours.
Yeah.
It's like, you might not
like theirs.
You might not like mine. I don't like yours. I like mine. You like yours. Happy times. We're both happy with ice cream. Like with wine, it seems that people turn their nose.
Are you
up.
expecting whenever you're in a group of people that like wine?
Yeah.
Are you expecting them to order a wine, then do the swilling and the looking and the talking?
If you pick one that they don't like, they're going to be like, oh. But say it like steak as well. It's not been because it's not a usual conversation that we have as a group of friends.
Yeah.
With steak because we don't. Have steak as often as wine.
I think the only problem one of the reasons why you're annoyed at it is because I've been trying to get into wine, so I've been forcing Sean to talk about wine.
Probably you're the problem.
So I apologise.
It's an inanimate object.
It's on me. It's on me because I'm trying to get into wine.
No, it's been happening before you. Like,
yeah.
There's always been a wine snob in my life.
This is one of Dan's best answers
he's
ever given because he's taken the actual question I've asked, but also seen another hidden meaning underneath, which I love. Yeah. So, James, Dan has told me that he wants to get rid of an item because of the subculture that comes with it. There are no subcultures with keys, at least that I'm aware of. So, how do you beat that?
Well,
there's a key mafia. What you're
my problem with keys is keys are. It's such a bizarre thing in that they are so antiquated and obsolete. And yet we don't replace them.
It's true.
So, like, if you look at keys as in the physical piece of metal that goes into a lock and has a matching number of like pins and things that it has to unlock, and like that kind, then why the hell are we still using these things? Because they're like,
if it ain't broke,
I'm sorry, but every single person has seen a lockpick video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think most people, I know myself included, and I would put a bet on at least one of you two has at some point thought, I'd like to give lockpicking a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go, right? So lockpicking exclusively works on keyed locks, right? Guess what, guys? We have the perfect, unique thing that could mean that we get access to what we need access to without anybody else having it. And we've got 10 of the fuckers attached to our hands, right?
Yep.
My fingerprints are unique. Why the hell can't my front door have a fingerprint lock? Why the hell can't my car have a fingerprint lock?
Our phones do.
Yeah, our phones do, yeah. Our phones even work off our fucking faces nowadays.
Yeah.
Most high security buildings, they don't use a key.
Eye scanners, right?
Eye scanners or swipe cards or pin code.
Is there something stopping you from getting that?
Yeah, it's expensive.
There you go.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying.
So you're saying Dan keys function are a cheap alternative to home security systems.
But what I'm saying is
if it ain't broke.
But that is only driven by the fact that keys are still in existence.
Yeah,
keys are a low security and very low safety item.
Yeah.
That also causes additional stress because, come on, we've all lost our keys at some point. Yeah, and the blind panic that goes through somebody when they've lost their keys, especially when they're not in the house. You feel like you've got to fucking move away and start a new life in case somebody knows where your fucking keys are.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you have, like, if we as a society adapted to, like, even car keys in their current state, modern cars, most of them now don't have traditional keys. Most of them just have a fob.
Yeah.
And okay, that still comes with the problems of you can lose it. But now even most newer cars are replacing the fob or even just keeping the fob as a backup to having your phone, for example, as your key.
I feel like I completely agree with your point, actually, like with what you're saying. I feel like we're in like a weird key limbo.
Yeah.
Where like we're almost there, but for some reason we just like to hang on.
The problem is I think people see it as it's almost the difference between something physical and something software.
Is it the way someone reacts to having a debit card and having Apple Pay on their phone?
That's a similar thing. Like I'm fully in that space. I barely carry my wallet. I only take my wallet if I know I need ID, and that's because this stupid country hasn't let us go to digital IDs yet. Whereas, like in America now, certain states will let you put your official state ID in your Apple wallet. And guess what I've always got on me? My phone. Yeah. Guess what I've not always got on me? My fucking wallet. That I had to buy a tracker for because I lose it so fucking often. The same as my keys.
I lose my wallet more than I lose my keys.
I've got a tracker on both because of the very reason. But what I'm saying is, if we live in this world where Yeah, as you say, it's the difference between something physical. It's almost reassuring to people. It's like, this won't run out of battery.
To be fair, that's literally my kind of take on it. I like to have, I guess it depends on the person, but I also like to have that kind of backup.
Right.
Like, from a photography background and all my hard drives going kaput, I like to have backups upon backup. So it's like, if you have a key, it's like your last resort. Kind of thing. But I don't actually use my phone to pay for anything. I still just use my card.
I only use my card.
I think it helps me control my spending a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
I exclusively use my phone for the exact same reason, though, because my phone tells me how much I spend a day.
Okay.
Like my phone, when I pay for something on my phone will then go, "You've spent £57 today," and I go, "Oh, brilliant!" My fucking debit card doesn't do that.
True.
And the other thing as well is, yes, your phone can die, but we live in a world where that's not necessarily like. Oh, I personally live in a world where that's not necessarily an issue, because if my phone dies, I can pay on my watch.
Yeah.
I've got backups. But the other thing as well is, a key isn't necessarily the most appropriate solution as the final backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if imagine if your front door had something on it that was exclusively, so you put your phone, maybe you don't even need to put your phone.
Like vicinity.
All you need to do is have it in your pocket and have it there, right?
Yeah.
So, someone goes, your phone's close enough to the doorknob to know that you are at least in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Your phone's dead. Well, have a little fucking access panel with a backup pin. Because a pin is far more secure than a key. Because you can't pick a barrel on a kit on a
can't drill it out.
You have to. If you have and obviously if you put a 6-digit pin, that's I think it's something ridiculous like 10,000 times more effective than a 4-digit pin. As long if you spend your life and you only have to remember one thing, and that's what is my backup pin. You don't have to remember where your fucking keys are. You don't have to remember where your fucking your wallet is.
When you go into Timpson's or some other key cutting place, they've only ever got a finite amount of shapes and sizes. Is there a finite amount of patterns that you can have? So I've always wondered this. Do you reckon there is a duplicate of my keys somewhere because they've only got a certain amount they can do?
That is a true fact. So,
well, that's something I've never understood is how, I've not really thought into it that much. It's probably why I don't understand it. But say you have all your lockers at school and then there's one master key. Yeah. Like that just fits all. I've always found that how does that work?
Well, it depends on the way, and I'm not going to get into fucking lockpicking 101 on our comedy podcast. But what I will say is, yes, you are absolutely right, Kirk. There is a finite number of patterns and pin as in the pins in the lock combinations that mean even say a company like Master Lock, who make padlocks and things, they have something like a 1 in 10,000 chance that the keys will work on the same.
Right.
Yeah. So in theory, although it's unlikely, there is
a potential another padlock.
It could happen.
And don't get me wrong, keypads and stuff aren't bulletproof. Another stupid one that people don't think about is them fucking scroll locks. The ones where it's you twist like a bike lock.
Yeah.
Because you can actually like
lock boxes on the
you can actually feel them. You can feel the combination, the way that it moves.
The way
so you can actually just, and especially a 4-1, I've genuinely broken into so many of those locks. Not that I'm a thief. I've just done it where I've had to remove an old lock or something. Where literally randomly twisting until you feel the change is enough that I can get that lock undone within 10 minutes. Right? But a proper push pad pin where the only feedback you get is the tactile feedback of that. Or even better, fucking get rid of that altogether and make it so that it's your thumbprint is the backup. So you haven't got to remember a pin when you're drunk. All you've got to do is walk up and put your fucking finger on the door and it unlocks.
So I think another thing it comes down to as well is a point we raised earlier is cost.
Yes.
So you were saying about, I had this thought earlier when you were talking about your watch. There's nowhere in my budget where I'm going to go and buy a watch. No. My backup is my key. If that was forced away from me and I had to pay for something else, I'd be a bit miffed. But
here's what I counter that with.
But you can make that choice. I suppose it's up to you. Yeah. Where I live now, I'm not worried about break-ins. I'm not worried about that. I think,
I agree with that.
it's secure enough, but I don't need to go and make that.
The way I would counter it is the one of the things that's stopping this technology from becoming cheaper and more readily available is the key. Because if we didn't have, I can go to Timpson's for £3.
It never existed. You wouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah. Well, not even that. If we didn't have this, if we didn't have this, I can go to Timpson's for £3 and buy this key, and I could go to B&Q for £7 and buy this lock. If then companies would be making cheaper alternatives to do the same job,
right?
Like a pin code.
Yeah, but you'd think they'd be doing that now. They'd be like, we want,
But they're not because of the key.
Because the key is already the option. So somebody's going, well, why would, like, if I said to you, for example, you can pay £10 for a lock, and then on average, you're going to pay £5 every year to replace a key that you've lost or damaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just for quick maths.
Yeah.
But you could pay £25 for a combination lock that you will never, ever have to replace a key.
It'll last you for like 10 years or more.
Then the cost is, but you, as the consumer, you'll go, well, the key's the easier thing, and it's cheaper.
Well, if I'm knowing I'm going to lose it every year, then I change it, but I don't know I'm going to lose it. I've never lost a key.
But you get where I'm trying
in the 25 years, nearly 26 years I've been on Earth, I've never lost a key and had to get a new one.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is
I've never had to pay for a key.
Well, fair enough.
Oh, wow.
But the thing for me is we can only get these things cheaper, and we can only make these things more accessible by removing the outdated, antiquated stuff that is holding it back.
Yeah.
It's like,
but then if I wanted a keypad and I went and looked up the price and I thought, yeah, it's worth it, I'd go and get it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it almost doesn't even cross people's minds because they're so used to the key.
Yeah.
So if you remove the key from the equation,
but then it's clearly not a big deal to them.
But if you remove the key from the equation,
they have to go and
but if keys never existed, snap, keys don't exist.
But are we talking about never existed or getting rid of?
As in, let's see what my question says. Eliminate from existence.
So from existence from now or
yes.
ever?
So I guess from now, but then if no one's got a key, then you're all going to then. But if no one's got a key because they've been eliminated from existence, they've all vanished.
It becomes the norm.
It becomes the norm for what James is saying, where we need an alternative at a similar price.
Timpson's all of a sudden stop selling keys,
but they start selling touchpads,
or pin, even just pin four-digit pin codes.
Okay. Interesting.
And then you can choose. You can choose, which you already do passively by not changing from a key, as I do, because I'm too lazy to replace my lock at the minute because it's too expensive. Yeah. But you are instead of passively, you're actively choosing the level of security you want on something because you're choosing whether I want a 4-digit pin for cheap or whether I want a touchpad with a fingerprint scanner and a phone backup for more expensive. Whereas actually at the minute,
so I'm going, but you're still missing the part where it's like I don't pay for a key now, so it is at no expense to me. So either way, if keys didn't exist, I'm then having that's another thing.
But I guess what James is saying as well is if you bought a door.
Yeah,
for your house,
it
would now come with a keypad.
If I then wanted a new door, then that's I'd do like you'd get a better lock anyway, wouldn't you?
But what I'm saying is, if keys don't exist anymore, when you come to replace that, that becomes the norm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because like when you replace your front door in your house, or when
obviously in this hypothetical situation, when you lose all your keys, you're not going to be stuck outside your house.
Yeah.
So obviously it would be replaced with what would be the alternative, which I guess would be a 4-digit pin code.
Yeah. So you'd have. Instead of like, if we woke up tomorrow morning and keys didn't exist, there would have to be something in place to replace them, which would be the cheaper alternative of the 4-digit pin or something.
Guys, I'll be honest, this question, I was umming and ahhing about, thinking, I don't know if this is the best question for this show. And it's turned into, I think it was one of the best. This has been such a good discussion.
Because Dan's just put our friends on blast.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Dan's put us two and some of our closest friends on blast.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Rethink the way you drink.
But I do like it, though, the whole subculture element. I like your economical evaluation of a certain product. Honestly, this has been one of the best things I've ever heard. Period. It's been great. And because I was so worried about that answer, I do have a part 2.
Nice.
that I want to bring in anyway, just because why not? It's going well. So you just explained to me objects that either you hate or you have found completely useless or obsolete.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's test that. You're stuck on desert islands and you only have the object you've chosen to get rid of. So, Dan, you only have wine. James, you only have some keys. Right? How are you getting off that island? What are you doing on this island?
Killing myself.
Drinking yourself to death.
No. I'll just jump in the sea, drown.
That's it.
You wouldn't even try and.
But what about? Think about it, Dan. I'm not going to help.
Think about it.
I'm not going to help you. You got to get off the island. You've got a load of wine.
Are they all full bottles?
Yeah, you got a load of full bottles of wine.
So
you've got, let's say, a million keys.
Yep.
There's like you've got an infinite amount of what you have.
Have I got ways of tying things together?
You're on an island, so yeah, a desert island.
So
whatever you find on a desert island.
I could make a bottle raft.
Yeah, sure.
Sick.
Cool. So you got a bottle, yeah.
Tip all the wine away.
Yeah.
Make a bottle raft.
Okay, cool.
It'd probably take me a while. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, I also wouldn't disallow, because it does come that way.
And
wine
cork.
comes in boxes.
Oh yeah.
And wine comes in barrels.
Hmm.
So you could have a section of those.
Yeah.
Same as keys. There are many different sizes of keys. You can have any of them.
But none of them float.
No, but some are really heavy. Some can be used for other things, like
spell out an SOS.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's definitely an option. I mean, the first thought for me was I can make a fire, and the vast majority of keys are made from fairly soft metal like brass, so they melt quite easily. And sand is a primary way of creating molds for castings.
Right.
So I could, in fact, melt down the keys using campfires to make some sort of boat or raft by making small sand castings and assembling them together, kind of like a giant Lego set, and using molten keys to weld them together as well.
How are you pouring the molten metal?
Sand casts.
No, but how are you pouring it? How are you getting it from on top of the fire or in the fire to your cast? Like how's
coconuts?
What if there are no?
It would melt eventually, but if you're quick, I guess it could be.
No, the first thing.
Well, then if we've got coconuts, I've got them to drink while I'm on my raft.
Yeah.
The first thing would be to melt some down to make some sort of.
Yeah. Okay, but you have to cast that, right?
Not necessarily.
So how are you going to control where this molten metal goes?
Well, no, because I could
in the initial.
Because I might be able to use something else to do it, like keys. I might be able to use a harder key, like an iron key, to shape something else. A softer brass key.
Oh, okay, like bash it.
Yeah,
right.
To then make I'm an engineer.
He's an engineer.
So then I take that the harder key, and use it as a tool.
So when you put that molten stuff into that other thing, will that not also?
No, not necessarily.
Misshapen it.
Not necessarily.
Or does it get like harder or?
Well, it will get harder as it heats and
it'll be all right.
But then also you're dealing with the fact that
So how will you
if you think about
how will you hold the metal tin with the molten?
I could use keys as tongues on a small scale. It'll just take me a while.
You've got loads of keys, all different sizes.
Of keys.
I could use giant
chopstick
keys, key to the city keys, as tongues. Or you could do it another way, and I'm sure I could find something that I could use to, as per you, tying bottles together to suspend things.
Oh yeah, like
and to almost do it like
palm leaves or something.
Put it like
over the fire, and then pull it along. And then on top of that as well. My microphone fell over again. On top of that as well, on top of that as well, I can also shape those keys into a variety of tools, because I've basically just got metal. Because it's small metal and stuff, but I can melt them into bigger pieces if I want to, and then I could make an axe out of these keys if I wanted to, or knife blades, and then I could use that to.
Well, that'd be the way forward. Is do it
to chop down trees
instead of trying to make the whole boat out of metal. Just make a little blade.
I'm just trying to play in the space now.
Yeah. I like it. So it's a slow burner, literally.
Yeah.
Also, next time you accuse me of not playing the space, I'm going to dash something at your head.
Throw a wine bottle at it.
Dan's angry about wine.
Yeah, I would have so much pleasure in just pouring that wine into the sand for no one to drink. Into the ocean. You go fish.
This has been a truly fascinating conversation. I really hope the listeners have enjoyed this as much as I have.
I could send a little... Oh, never mind.
And it's such a difficult decision because you've made such good points with both sides. I was hoping the desert island thing would help me just go, okay, cool, well, you fucked that up. And it's like, actually, no, you both did really well in terms of things. I just hope that from this, guys, no matter who I choose now to win, is now when you go into a shop that has these things, you now look at them with a different light.
I'm just going to go and bust some Timsons down.
And then I'm in Tesco just knocking all the bottles off. No one.
They're just pouring them. I need the bottles.
I need these.
Oh, do you know, this is really hard. I love your subculture point. I love your economic point.
You know, in like wine stores where they have the CCTV and a shelf goes.
Yeah.
So satisfying. Just watching them all just drop. Wine flood.
Honestly, I need 30 seconds to think. I'm actually nervous. Who I choose? It's so good. Well, the listeners, who would the listeners want to agree with more?
Not me.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a significant portion of listeners.
Yeah, James is about to get some audience points.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go Dan.
Oh,
I'm sorry, James. I'm sorry. No, I love the fact that obviously it's the whole question is about you and what you find pointless and what you think, and you've actually eradicated an entire subculture by deleting one item in the world. But I gotta say, honestly, James, it was like listeners. I cut it out in the final edit, but I took literally a minute there just to have a think. But yeah, I've gone with Dan. But you both did so well, honestly.
GG, bro.
Wow.
We all agree that the real answer is like guns, right? Or like weapons. Yeah. But it's
to be fair, if you took away guns, that basically means warfare would still be medieval.
Yeah,
which would be ace.
Tomahawks and shit. Yeah,
that would be fucking. Imagine World War II.
Everyone's melee.
Like, bow and arrow.
We'd just basically be on like the Battle of Agincourt 17.
No, but I love that because you both went personal, which is what I wanted. You both went with something that you feel strongly about, which I love.
I fully agree with Keys though.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
I think that's a really good answer.
Yeah,
like if you're going for like the kind of obviously staying away from like guns, obvious things like keys and like credit cards and little things like that.
Things that are easily stolen.
I very nearly picked money.
Swapped.
Yeah.
I very nearly picked
cash.
Cash. Like physical money.
Yeah.
That's pretty much redundant now, isn't it?
Exactly. So I was a bit like, well, if I say that, then I'm basically just saying, we just all need debit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, keys is...
No, it's really good. No, that honestly, there was such different kind of arguments as well. Yours was very factual and thought out. Yours was very personal, but at the same time, it made me think, going, shit, there is a subculture with wine. I'm in it. And it's so, why are we like that?
Honestly, whenever wine is brought up at any of our gatherings, my eyes roll so hard.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I kind of do it on purpose. I kind of like, I'll go and show Sean a bottle of wine and be like, what do you think? And I see Dan go, fuck.
Don't even get me started on the bloody culture.
I think now as well, we should start filming him every time we bring wine out, just to bring that quote back.
Yeah.
Without him knowing, of course, as candidly, he's just there going,
right, it's liquid. So, scores on doors: 10 for me, 10 for Kirk.
Yeah.
12 for Dan. Dan's starting to run away with it.
Oh, man.
But one of us is going to be almost back in step.
I can only get one more point this episode. Wait. That's my own point.
Well,
my point still stands.
It just shows you, doesn't it, that it's really going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, the last episode.
Because even when one of us gets this point, in theory,
the loser could still
be
win.
10, 11, 12.
In theory, we could still be in a position where we all finish. Like, in theory,
12. All with 12.
We could all finish at 12 and go into a tiebreaker.
Which we're saying right now that has not been scripted. So if it happens, it's totally not
panic
on purpose.
Yeah,
spooky episode 13.
Who asked that last question?
Honestly, I'd like to we'll give it to a guest.
I think we'll have to. Please get your questions in case that happens for a mad tiebreaker.
Honestly, it's like if we just take a minute to review in our penultimate episode, that's going to be a massively long episode at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is crazy that we genuinely haven't scripted any of this. Like, even to the point where, like, the closest we've come to scripting this is if we found a question that we can't answer, we scrap it just to kind of, give the audience a peek behind the curtain.
There will be access to questions we haven't used.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we'll throw up.
We're working that out in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about all sorts of things which we'll keep you guys updated on. But like the other thing as well to kind of think about this with is like there's been very like we haven't tactically given points. We haven't we've given points that maybe the audience have disagreed with as we've had feedback on. Mm-hmm. But generally, we've done it based on who's given us the best argument, who's made us laugh the most.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think that we are this close. Like, because it's almost like it would have been a bit shit, wouldn't it, if one of us had just ran away with it the whole way through.
Or one of us was still on 3 points for the rest of the season.
I think that would have been hilarious.
It would have been.
But it is just crazy. It is crazy. I mean, it's like I had a fucking shit round last game.
Yeah.
Like last game, I didn't get any points, which I think was the first time that's ever... No, in fact, I had that in like episode 5 as well, I think.
I think we've all had at least 2 no point.
Yeah.
Episodes.
Yeah. It sucked. So, but it's interesting. And it seems like, for me, being in the early days, leading quite often to now potentially being on the back foot after this next question.
Yeah, who knows?
Oof. Right.
What is the next question?
That's down to me.
Come on then, Dan. Give us our penultimate round 3 fight.
Ever.
Okay, so here's the one I was a little bit nervous about. I hope it works. And I hope you guys enjoy it. It's kind of a series of questions to help build who you're going to be using.
Okay.
So the first one is pick any universe you want. A little advice, it would help if we all knew about that universe, at least a little bit.
Are we picking one each?
Pick a universe each.
Is there any tricks in this?
Oh, God. We know it's going to be fighting.
All I'm going to say is it helps if I know at least a little bit about it.
Okay, I've got one.
Star Wars.
You want to say it? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
How much do you know about Star Wars, Kirk?
Fair bit.
Okay, you get to pick James's character from Star Wars, and you get to pick Kirk's from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, no. I know who I'd pick if
it has to be a named character.
Yeah.
What if I can't remember the name?
Describe him to me, and if I can remember the name, you can have it. But if I can't, you have to pick someone else.
The one Keira Knightley plays.
What, Elizabeth Swann?
Elizabeth Swann.
Okay.
I can't really remember. I haven't watched Pirates of the Caribbean in a long time.
Okay. Cool. Darth Vader it is.
Okay.
You can't, I'm going to quickly put this out there. You can't say young Anakin.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not allowing that.
Yeah, fine.
Why?
Well,
he's shit. Yeah.
Because if his is young Anakin, yours is young Elizabeth Swann.
Okay.
I'm going to try and, when you've both got it, I'm going to try and balance them out a little bit.
Okay.
Who's the one Keira Knightley plays in Star Wars?
She
is Princess Amidala's clone.
Yeah.
It's not a bad shout. She's pretty useless. That'd be good. No, I'm going to say Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Jar Jar to work with.
Yeah, I knew that was going to fucking
Elizabeth Swann.
Yep.
I'm going to say at the end of their kind of respective timelines in the movies. So like Jar Jar kind of at the end of Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah.
What about when he's Darth Jar Jar?
Not canon.
Not confirmed. Darth Jar Jar versus Darth Swan.
Yeah. So is there any other bits to this?
There is actually.
Okay.
I'd like you both to pick another universe as separate.
Okay. I mean, so really, it's universes that we know,
Yeah.
basically, as opposed to you.
I tried to keep that. When I said me, I didn't really mean it.
Okay.
But it helps.
Yeah.
And if you say something that James has absolutely no clue about, I will force you to change.
Okay.
So if it was me versus you and you said Star Trek, that'd be a forced change because I know nothing about Star Trek.
I'm trying. So here's my doing my tactics. I'm trying to think of universes that James knows where I can't think of a bad character.
Okay.
Yeah, I get you.
Or at least not one that he'll be able to think of.
Okay.
Until Dan then says, okay, you get to pick your own characters now. In which case, I'm like, ball in. Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've got one.
You went first last time, so I'll go first this time. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
It's pretty good. That was pretty close to what I was thinking. Call of Duty.
Call of...
Yeah. Oh. I love how we've done this. Oh.
Okay, Kirk. You get to pick a weapon from Call of Duty for Elizabeth Swann to wield. And you get to pick a weapon from Assassin's Creed for Jar Jar Binks to wield.
Well, it's got to be the hidden blades for Jar Jar, right? In fact, it's going to be the Phantom Blade, which is the hidden blade with the crossbow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
The old Elsa Ice Special.
Yes. In fact, can I change my mind slightly?
Depends.
It's literally just going to be the one after that, where instead of it being a crossbow, it was a pistol.
Okay.
Hidden blade with a single shot pistol.
It's got like an attachment, yeah.
Ray gun from COD Zombies 1.
That's a good shout.
That's a pretty good shout.
That's a pretty good shout.
Coming out that mystery box.
Final universe, guys.
Fuck.
What could it be? Is it going to be opponent? Is it going to be method of transportation? What is it going to be location? What is this? Oh shit.
I think I've got one. I just don't know if you guys know it well enough. I feel like, Kirk, you might know it better than Dan.
Okay. I've got one.
Okay, James?
Dragon Ball Z. Specifically Dragon Ball Z.
Specifically Dragon Ball Z.
I had in Dragon Ball Z.
If you don't, I can think of something else.
Probably best.
Yeah.
Just because.
I know literally the main few characters.
That's a shame. Fuck it. Avengers.
Wow.
Nice. You know enough about Avengers, Kirk?
Yeah.
And you, what's yours?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Well, that's a good one.
Now, can I have the coin?
Yep.
Just to make this round easier.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay, James, pick a side. One up or...
Arcade machine.
Cool. It's not the arcade machine. So, Kirk, do you want your universe or James's universe?
Ooh. What was yours again, James?
Wait, is it the last one that we picked?
Yeah, Avengers.
Oh yeah,
Rick and Morty. Avengers is in just the Avengers, as in the MCU, or do you want the entirety of Marvel?
As in the
MCU.
As in the MCU.
Okay.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Let's go MCU. Let's
Okay.
go Avengers.
You did catch on. It is method of transport. You get a vehicle of some description.
Okay. I get to pick from the Rick and Morty.
From Rick and Morty.
Does the
I really regret my decision now.
does the portal gun count?
No. It's got to be somewhat ridden.
So it's got to be Rick's car, spaceship thing then.
Can I ride the Hulk?
No. I was going to say no riding characters.
Oh, okay.
Unless they're designed to be ridden.
I can't remember the name of them, but I'd like... I think I'd like the speeder that the aliens in Avengers 1 ride.
Oh, what, the Chitauri
Yeah.
bike things?
I want that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting choice.
Yeah, I thought you'd go for one of those, the big-ass hovering aircraft carrier things.
Maybe.
Not the helicarrier.
Yeah, that's the word.
Or the Quinjet.
Oh.
The Quinjet as well.
I was thinking the giant big spaceship they come from as well, but I'm not sure what that's called.
Which what? The
main ship.
The helicarrier?
No, the main ship the speeders come from. Because obviously it all detaches from that
Oh, what,
ship,
the
doesn't it?
Chitauri warship?
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah. Okay. Fight.
Oh, sick.
Where?
Yeah, where are we?
What we got? Star Wars.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. You're on a pirate ship flying through space.
It's Treasure Planet.
Surely if
Treasure Planet.
Surely if this is the route that we're going, then it's got to be Jabba's barge.
No, because that's too specific to Star Wars.
But it's a fucking sail. It's a sailboat.
Okay, that's flying alongside it.
Oh, okay.
But you can't take control of the ship or the sail barge. You can only control the ships that you've got.
That's fine. So, I mean, Rick's car is pretty well equipped in terms of the...
As we learned from that episode with Beth, right? Yeah.
Well, and also the episode with Keep Summer Safe.
Yes.
So, obviously, Rick's car will have to be programmed to keep Jar Jar safe as a key aspect of that. So, I don't know if some of you guys remember some of the things that the car did in order to keep Summer safe, such as bring back loved ones for the police to then melt them away, to emotionally cripple them when the millions of machine guns and rockets that were equipped were deemed not okay. To the point where the car even managed to negotiate a peace between the Earth and the Spider People in order to keep Summer safe.
Nice.
So maybe there's a chance for democracy here. Maybe Rick's car can negotiate that we don't need to fight anymore. But actually, she'll just fucking light you up with the machine guns and the rockets, let's face it. Jar Jar is going to... Now, one thing we do know about Jar Jar as well is he might be a bit of a dopey cunt, right? But he gets a bit better when he becomes senator and whatever. He becomes a bit more... He still talks like a twat, but like he's not like, Misa gonna lick an electric beam. He goes to like, Misa think that we should give Palpatine all the power. It's stupid.
Idiot. Yeah.
But one thing we know is he might not be a Jedi, but he could sure as hell jump like one.
Uh-huh.
And when he's been given the weapons of an assassin, like the hidden blade with the pistol,
that he's never been trained on.
He'll have a natural ability when he can jump like that, motherfucker.
So, with the argument of your crazy warship, I've got a ray gun, and Elizabeth Swann has been trained as a pirate. Like she's been a pirate for a good few years. She fought in the World's End Wars, and came out alive.
Yep.
And then she's pissed off that her husband decided to go, do you know what? I'm going to go be the new Davy Jones and do that instead. So she's really ticked off. And we know when a woman gets ticked off, she usually wins.
Yep.
So that's going to happen. So she fires the ray gun at your ship. That ray gun's going to take out most things.
No, it's not. No, not at all.
Come on.
Rick's car has been well and truly designed to deal with ray gun blasts. Come on. Rick's car eats ray guns for breakfast. Remember the Gear Wars? Remember when he had to escape from the weird mosquito people?
Yeah.
And from the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Who was Bird Person Reborn?
Yeah.
And Tammy?
Yeah.
Bird Person's wife?
Damn, I really wish I chose my universe. I didn't know where it was going. I guess one way it was going, and I'm kind of annoyed that I chose a thing I knew less about.
So basically, what you're going to see, it's almost going to look like Elizabeth Swann might be having that ray gun and might be getting Vietnam flashbacks to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or World at War, right? But she wants to see real Vietnam flashbacks. That's going to be 2 miniguns fucking spooling up from a flying saucer made of trash, flying at you at proper speed, with repeating the words in a robot voice. Keep Jar Jar safe. Keep Jar Jar safe. That's going to be fucking terrifying for anyone, let alone a woman who's basically alive in the fucking Renaissance.
Okay, cool. So, Keira Knightley, Elizabeth Swann, will go below decks. She knows the layout of a pirate ship. She's been on many of them. Jar Jar knows nothing of a pirate ship.
Jar Jar will stay up on the sails using his fantastic jumping ability to stay out of range. He will jump between the sails and between the boats. Kind of a bit like, who is it? Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed. That's right.
Okay, cool. So, I'm getting there. Elizabeth Swann is below decks, right? Jar Jar's up top.
Bear in mind as well, while Elizabeth Swann's running around below the decks, there's a fucking spaceship firing rockets and miniguns all the way through that ship.
Sure.
Turning it into Swiss cheese.
She's running through, and while the ship...
Because, in those heavy pirate clothes from the 16th century, mobility is a prime factor, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
She is actually pretty mobile in the film.
She is. She's very mobile.
It's pretty much a slag.
She also knows how to work the cannons and aims them all at the ship.
So
lights them as she's running away from these lasers. In fact, the lasers probably light a few themselves.
So, Kirk, let me ask you a question. And I'm almost going to throw you back to your previous question. Right. Why did I want to replace the key? Because they're antiquated. Why was the cannon replaced? Because it's antiquated. It was replaced by the fucking minigun and rockets.
You're also on the Treasure Planet boat, which has the weird plasma ball cannons.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll take that.
That Elizabeth won't know how to operate.
Yeah.
Hold them like
but
this.
Jar Jar, Jar Jar, on the other hand, is quite well versed in energy-based weapons, like the Big Boomba.
The Big Boomba! It's true.
I think she'd be quite capable of using it because it is just point and pull the trigger.
It's the same as a cannon. Like it's.
Yeah.
Have you not seen Treasure Planet? It is just like steampunk on steroids.
Yeah. He basically sits on. It's like a seat next to the cannon.
But you see, do you know what? Right, I have such faith in the fact that you fucked up by picking my universe instead of yours. In that, basically, the shit Rick's ship can do is basically it's like having Rick there almost. So, like Rick's ship will literally steampunk. That's fucking nothing to Rick's ship. The Gear Wars is a prime example of this. Remember what happened to Gearhead?
Oh God, Dan.
Gearhead got his gear testicles replaced by his gear mouth.
I realise why Kurt keeps losing. It's because he makes terrible choices.
I make terrible decisions.
I feel like it's happened with like all my questions when we have this kind of choice. You always pick really badly.
I just don't think in the
it just
same
makes it
vein
really hard
as you.
For me.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a ray gun. I've got a speeder. And I'm Elizabeth Swann.
And that speeder's going to do fuck all on a boat.
Yeah, you really messed up when you picked the vehicle, mate.
It's. I know.
You could have picked a fucking helicarrier and you could have just got off the boat and shot it to shit. But no, you left me with quite possibly the most powerful vehicle in cartoon history while you are stuck on a boat with a bike that won't go anywhere, basically.
Why didn't I pick Back to the Future?
Oh.
That'd have been sweet, right? I can literally go back in time and... Yeah. Oh, that'd have been good. That'd have been really good.
Well, I do have another part to the question if you'd like.
Oh, God, I fucking hope so.
If you'd like me to bring it in now, I can.
Yeah. I mean, the only annoying thing about this, about Rick and Morty's machine, is how I'm meant to be fighting Jar Jar, but I'm not. I'm just fighting the damn spaceship.
Yeah, but that's
Jar Jar can sit pretty anywhere he likes. And
Jar Jar's just hopping about the sails.
If it was one-on-one and all you've got is your little pistol thing, which only got a few bullets in it, Whereas I've got an unlimited ammo ray gun.
I don't think it's unlimited, is it, the ray gun?
It's not the whole... I can't remember.
No.
That's not the whole reason that we really wanted it.
No, I'm sure. No, I'm sure you still had to buy ammo for it.
Oh.
It was just that I think it worked off regular pistol ammo.
Oh, I see.
So, like, if you got the M911, 1911 ammo, I think it was the same ammo.
Okay. So a lot more ammo than you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, what's this next one?
So the next one was from the universes that you don't have. So from James's 3 universes.
Yep.
From Kirk's 3 universes.
Yep.
Pick either a teammate, another vehicle, or another weapon. You can have one of them.
What's Kirk's universe? What are your universes again?
The ones we don't have. So
he's picking from your 3. You're picking from his 3.
Yeah, but he chose something from that. I chose something from his universe.
Yeah, so his 3 universes are now Star Wars, Rick and Morty,
and Assassin's Creed.
So you can pick from those 3, whereas you can pick from Pirates of the Caribbean,
Call of Duty,
and MCU.
Wait. No, that's the wrong way round. I can pick from those now, right?
Yeah, you pick from him.
So I can pick from MCU, Pirates of the Caribbean, or the other one,
Call of Duty. So it's a weapon, a character as a teammate, or a vehicle. You can't pick what they've already got.
I could be such a dick right now.
Really could, but don't.
Well, there's 2 that I'm thinking of. I just don't want to be caught out with some shit caveat that you're going to pull out.
Okay, so when you've got yours, I want you to tell me what it is, as in if it's a vehicle, a weapon, or a person, before you reveal.
Well, mine will be...
Have you got yours yet?
Yeah.
Mine will be a person, unless you fuck me up, and then I'll change it to a vehicle.
Well, once you've picked.
No, because if you're going to be out of order to me, I'm not playing.
Mine's a vehicle.
Yours is a vehicle. Okay.
He's just desperate to counter that Rick and Morty action.
You got it. So, what vehicle have you gone for?
Rick and Morty shit from C136.
Oh,
okay.
That's good. That is.
And what have you got?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Fully suited.
Good.
Bruh.
In the latest and greatest.
Okay.
Because if there's one thing that could dick a ship with all of those things, it's a genius with those things attached directly to his body.
Keep Keira Knightley safe.
So now basically what's happened, Kirk, is our 2 spaceships are locked in battle.
Yeah.
Right. So the 2 Rick and Morty parallel ships are locked in battle. I'm going to establish they're fairly evenly matched at this point. And that's basically where they're at. Now, the problem you've got is Keira Knightley is on a 2-on-1, bro.
Basically 3-on-1.
Where not only is it Jar Jar the assassin, Jar Jar Auditore, it's also Iron Man, who is basically the Rick and Morty spaceship, but just as a bloke. So,
well, okay. So at least the ship is now busy.
Yeah,
with my ship, they're mating. It's fantastic.
It's like when you see 2 flies shagging as they're flying along and they're like bouncing into each other.
Now,
I don't know if that's actually what they're doing, but they do it a lot.
So, speaking of that caveat, James, the whole point of this question is, in that last bit, you can either bring something to bring to help. It wasn't for me to destroy. The real target is Jar Jar. All I have to do is kill Jar Jar.
That's
the
true.
ships are now busy. I jump on my speeder and I'm going. Yes.
Where?
Tony Stark.
No.
Hang on. Tony Stark may send a rocket launcher to my way. Right?
To my way.
Kirk.
It's late, guys. It's like half 10.
Kirk, my friend.
Let me finish,
Your speeder
James.
is fucking pointless because you're basically on a boat. It doesn't matter if you're going up and down the deck at 70 mile an hour if Jar Jar's hopping between fucking sails, does it?
If you're flying around as Iron Man, I'm flying around on my speeder.
I don't think the speeders had the power of flight. They were more...
No, they did.
They came
They were
down
flying
from...
They were hovering.
No,
they
they
were
came
flying through
down.
the sky.
They fly and like Arrow would... Not Arrow, what's his name? Hawkeye would jump on and start flying it
Yeah,
himself
fair
as well.
enough.
So I'm flying around.
Was also
All I've got to
Black
do
Widow.
is hit Jar Jar with one ray gun. That's all I've got to do. He's got nothing that can block it. He's got nothing that can do anything about it. And if he's hovering above those sails, just got to hit him once and off he goes into space.
Yeah, but you're dealing with Iron Man.
Yeah, I'll probably die. But
Yeah,
the whole
I
point
mean,
was, who kills who first, Jar Jar or Elizabeth Swann?
So Iron Man is going to basically be there. Mr. Stark is going to basically be there. And he's going to, like, as you're flying towards Jar Jar, aiming yourself, he's not even going to try. He's basically going to just fly in front of you and stick his fucking hand out and watch your fucking speeder crumple as he fires one of his fucking photon hand cannons straight through your fucking jaw.
Elizabeth Swann was very nimble. She jumps off the speeder, chucking the speeder into Iron Man. That is
Who it doesn't even phase because he's Iron Man.
No, but it's like one of those classic Marvel moments where Iron Man takes fucking 3 minutes to put the fucking suit on.
Yeah, Iron Man
Right.
from the first Avengers.
Right, he's fucking
I said
taken
Iron Man
all
from
this
the
time.
latest.
Mm.
I did specify the latest and greatest.
Even in the
Iron Man.
latest one, I've not even seen the latest one, but I have seen the memes on the latest one where the
Ant-Man
new suit
goes up
comes in.
Thanos' butthole.
No, the new suit comes in where he's trying to like take over Thanos, and it takes fucking like 45 seconds to put on.
Wait,
in real time, that would be
fact,
The
stupid.
nanotech one,
Yeah,
where he just taps his chest and it just covers him.
no,
Latest and greatest.
the other one.
Technically speaking, as well, latest and greatest Iron Man. Doesn't he have the Infinity Gauntlet?
Isn't he dead?
Latest and greatest Iron Man. He's a corpse. He's floating around.
Latest and greatest Iron Man had the Infinity Gauntlet.
Nah, I'm not allowing it.
Oh,
Anyway, as I was saying, Tony Stark is quick, but he has been known to be a bit slow in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he holds his hand up, but Keira Knightley jumps just in time for that rocket to hit her speeder
Yep.
in classic Disney-esque style.
yeah.
Holds up her ray gun, shoots just above Iron Man's head to get to Jar Jar.
Jar Jar's not above Iron Man.
Or behind him. Or he's climbing up the mast, or whatever it is. He's
Yeah, but you were coming
sails.
in from above, and Iron Man's met you in the middle and intercepted you.
Fine,
if
I've
anything.
shot just below Iron Man, or just to the side of
Yeah, but
Iron
Jar
Man.
Jar-
Towards Jar Jar.
Towards Jar Jar.
Jar Jar's lined up the shot in your trajectory with his wrist gun, and he's fired straight back.
Surely that ray gun would melt that bullet.
But then it would also stop the ray. The ray stops.
The ray would
but-
carry on.
No, because the ray stops through wood.
Oh, he's not wrong.
Oh no.
That ray gun is quite good at dissolving like zombies, but it's not that good at wood and rock and brick and
So wood
Or Iron
wins.
or Iron Men, for example. Yeah. So obviously at the minute, so Keira Knightley's falling. Jar Jar's lined up a shot, which has neutralized the other one. Okay, Jar Jar's now got to reload.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a problem. But Jar Jar, he's going to start moving again because he knows, time's running out if he doesn't do something. Iron Man, then, because Disney loves a bit of irony, irony, right, takes your
Can I have a point taken away from that?
Yeah.
please?
your crumpled spaceship, your crumpled speeder, and he's going to throw it straight towards Keira Knightley.
So the
So
important
when
thing
she
to remember.
hits the ship, there's a speeder coming at significant speed to her head. Followed because we can all agree Tony Stark is extra as fuck. Followed by a barrage of shoulder rockets. Followed by one of his stupid chest cannon beams.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
basically what's happened is he's made Elizabeth Swann 3 ways. Crushed, blown up, burnt.
I've got a jar of dirt.
No, you don't.
I don't. I would like to also point out that James has won. And
I would like to.
I was fucked by my own choices, as always is.
Yeah, I
and
would
I'm
like to
really
point out
annoyed.
that I'd like to point out that Kirk genuinely fucked himself there.
He did.
He
Did.
basically...
I thought I tried pretty hard.
I would like to do one more thing. Just because. To throw back to my very first round 3 fight.
Right.
What? Strip it all back. Jar Jar, Elizabeth Swan. On their own. What's their finisher move?
Is that Jar Jar with the Assassin's Creed?
No.
No.
Strip it all back. Just Jar Jar versus just like standard Elizabeth Swan.
Right.
So she has like a sword.
So Jar Jar uses... So you know how you have to initiate it, don't you? You have to get that hit in before they start going... Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the whole fight.
Yeah,
and then that's the end bit.
No, like the initial hit to make the fatality.
The last hit of the... Yeah.
So Jar Jar spins and uses his giant ears to basically double bitch slap his opponent. Right? Which sends them into this. Right?
You know they're already... So when they go into the chance, that's when it goes finish him.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just trying to point out. Bitch slap, and then they're doing the rock.
That's one of his standard moves, is it?
No, it's just... It's part of the dance.
That's his left X.
Then he double jumps, stretches his arse.
No.
Oh.
No, so what he does is he double jumps, then while he's in the air, fires out his tongue, right, to whip the other person up in the air and slam them back on the ground for him to then use his great big fucking stupid feet to land. Smush.
Nice.
Elizabeth Swan comes
As a
out.
jar of dirt.
Let me guess, double jumps.
Stretches
Why
her
not?
arsehole.
Why not?
Well, that's the beauty of it. She steals finishing.
She jumps up.
I can tell we're tired.
You don't have to jump to start a finish move, you know?
Yeah, but both Kermit and Jar Jar, it plays to their advantage.
Fine. Didn't have to jump and just felt right. She yells, "Hoist the colours." The colour from Jar Jar starts to seep away. He becomes paler and paler before she spins and says, "Now I unleash the pieces of 8." And all these little trinkets just fire straight at Jar Jar through him.
It's pretty good.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
I didn't.
When you said hoist the colours, I thought like a rope was going to come out, grab him by the leg, ankle.
Well,
Rip
yeah,
him
while
up
that
to where the
happens, hoist
flag
the
is.
colours. Yeah, the flags come out from behind her, but it doesn't get to him. Yeah, it just takes the colour away from him.
Yeah. James wins.
Hey!
That was obvious.
I mean, he won before that last
But
bit.
I did enjoy that last bit.
He won before it. I just thought
I like
I wanted
the
to add
finishing
it in.
moves.
Just
Jar Jar's got a good finishing move.
yeah.
So's Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do like a one-off little bonus episode where we just describe all our fighters' finishing moves.
Yeah, just
That
that could be one of our Patreon bonuses.
a season one,
Patreon.
season 1 finishing move recap.
That was good, though. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy it. I wish that I went Rick and Morty.
You didn't enjoy that.
No, I did. I didn't enjoy getting dicked on.
Your
no.
face was saying otherwise.
I didn't enjoy losing, but I did.
We got another character to add to the thing now. Jar Jarzio Auditore.
Yep.
See,
Do you want to try that again?
Jar Jarzio Auditore.
As well as Elizabeth Swan in Nazi Zombies.
Yes.
Sick.
Well, guys, that wraps us up for our second to last episode for season 1. I know you're all going to be very heartbroken next week when you hear episode 12, but
So will I.
it's still pretty much all to play for. Dan is on 12. Is that right?
Yep.
I am on 11. And Kirk is on 10.
Yep.
So it is still very much to play for. Can Kirk do what he's been doing a lot recently and pull an absolute fucking blinder and potentially mean
Get all 3 points.
that we all, well, at the very least, that we have to go into the tiebreaker? Or Will I manage to leapfrog Dan in the end, or will Dan take it all away?
It's possible that just two of us could tie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's possible that it's possible. For example, if Dan gets a point,
And then you get 2.
and then, well,
You get 2.
yeah,
So it's not. So basically, if Dan wins a point, I'm out the running.
yeah. But if I was to get 2,
Yeah.
then potentially you have to ask a tiebreaker,
Yeah.
which is probably going to be that. Probably going to be what?
It's probably going to be that, Kirk.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Attack, guys.
But
Both of you said this.
But no, I didn't mean it like that. I was going to say it's probably going to be that question I told you earlier as a joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My question earlier was, would you rather have a mullet or a Hitler mustache your whole life?
That's obvious, isn't it?
What?
Mullet.
No. Like having a mullet.
Over a Hitler mustache.
Grow a goatee as well.
That's dressed as Charlie Chaplin for the rest of your life.
Make it a Hitler chotee.
Jody.
Chotee.
Still, I'd take the mullet. Easy.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys. This has been episode 11 of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild? As always, please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, send us a message if you have any questions, or give us your scores if you feel like we've miscalculated or that you think someone's been robbed. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. It is a massive help to help us grow.
Does anyone have any McDonald's fries for all this salt that I've got?
Subscribe.
Right, so I have been Thick Jim.
I've been Captain Kirk.
And I've been winning.
Speak to you all next time. Cheers.